So, Rod, season 8 is finally over. What do you think? I'll tell you what I think later. But first, my main concern is why are we filming the show on your iPhone? Oh, um, the camera that we were using all season, the bad one, we ended up selling it for a very small amount. How small are we talking? Well, we're talking a whole $10. $10? What? Are you out of your mind? Listen, I know it's actually I don't even have an answer for why I accepted an offer $90 below the asking price, but this will have to do. My question is, what are you gonna do if somebody calls you during the show? Actually, I did not think that far ahead. You never do. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Rodriguez. Now, just this past week, I went up and I did some karaoke in front of people. I bombed. I mean, depends who you ask. Like, they'll say, no, you did fine. Listen, what you consider great and what I consider a bomb are two different planes. I don't know. But just imagine you want the track to stop once the mistake happens, right? I mean, it's all like, this thing's too high for me. Hello? Yep. I messed up. Okay, I'll keep going then. Okay, let's see where we were. Now, when it comes to karaoke, there's people backing you. There's people who are cheering you on. And that one person in the back who said, you suck, they actually mean, right on, chap. You gotta love glass half full people. So I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. It's a beautiful day outside. You go out, you're going about your day and observing everything. Everything seems to be in order, but then you just stop and think to yourself, wait a minute, something's not right here. Is something wrong? I gotta find out what it is, right? That is pretty much the equivalent of saying, it's quiet. Too quiet. Yeah, but normally when someone says that, something does happen, sure. But a lot of the time, we aren't always head on. And in fact, the only time anything's ever been head on, it was applied directly to the forehead. Now, before you go off trying to join Mystery Inc. like you're Nancy Drew or Sherlock Holmes over here, just remember, you may have been spot on with a few things. Like, Cake by the Ocean does mean what you thought it did. And Childish Gambino and Donald Glover are the same person. But making the assumption that Millie Bobby Brown is a robot, that's way off. I mean, you can debunk that right now with your friend Barb over there, And how about this? Games like Guess Who and Murder Mystery really bring out the overanalyzer in all of us. I mean, games where you have to guess who done it. You remember everything that you learned in reading and language arts all of a sudden. But the detective work is just nonsense. Like, somebody in this room is behind this. But who? Cue lightning. Yeah, just imagine this one person who wants to be that guy. He's like, it was the baby. Yeah, nobody suspects the swallowed up bundle of joy. He must have cut the power and took out the butler when no one was looking. Okay, so that reasoning is so off. Whoever actually did it should just come forward right now. I mean, you ever notice this? The way we picture stuff in our minds, in real life, it never plays out how we pictured it, you know? I mean, take those car washes that are held by high schoolers to raise money for their school, or so we think. Yeah, I mean, could be a trip to Six Flags or something. Like we don't know what they're doing. Now, you want to help them out, so you're like, okay, here's my car. Do what you do your best, because these days that's all we can do. So yeah, you know, you give them your car. They're doing what they do, and for a brief moment, you think to yourself that my car is actually getting detailed, like it's getting scrubbed. It's gonna be like new, like just pulled out of the dealer, fresh, right? But then you remember you left your car in the care of a bunch of 17-year-olds with those giant sponges that look like hourglasses and a bucket of water. Half of them aren't even washing the car. They're on TikTok. Like, you basically paid for something that the rain does for free. Shame. And you know, this is another reason to prefer call over text. I'm old. But you know, in text sometimes it's hard to interpret how to take a response. Like, you know, you send somebody a paragraph and they reply with one letter. Not to be confused with one-worded texts. I mean, straight up one letter. I mean, hey, I'm going to the store. K. I'm getting Gatorades. Oh. I'll save you one. And then they just reply with the red 100% emoji. What does that even mean? You're awake? So, sure, one letter responses are an obvious way of saying, I don't care, leave me alone, I'm on TikTok. But, you know, maybe they actually did want a Gatorade and they appreciate you for saving them one. What a way of showing it. I know. Well, we have a lot of show to fill, so that being said, I'm gonna need a minute. Now, it's hard to admit this to ourselves, but, you know, we get some sort of gratification with correcting people and knowing we're right. But the question here is, if the person was close enough, do we really need to correct them? I mean, as I always say, depends on the context. Actually, no, I don't always say that. I mean, you know how hard it is to not correct people when you know they're wrong? Like, just imagine you're just sitting there and then you overhear a conversation between two people. Oh yeah, you know, it's back to school season. My kid wanted a SpongeBob backpack. Oh, a SpongeBob backpack? My kids used to really love that on the Disney Channel. It hurts, but I'm not part of that conversation. I'm just gonna let it go. Oh, by the way, what are you doing for Halloween this year? Well, I mean, the kids wanted to be the Avengers. I thought it was sweet, so you know. I mean, he's going as Captain America, the other one Iron Man, and little Jimmy wants to go as the Flash. Is somebody gonna correct that? It's time for that weekly list known as the possibility list. It's kind of like going on Jeopardy just because you are kind of decent at trivia crack. Alright, this week's list is titled 8 Rejected Hot Pockets Flavors. No hesitating with this one whatsoever. At number 8, pork fried rice. Number 7, fettuccine alfredo. Number 6, Little Caesars. Number 5, Oreo. Number 4, who doesn't love Flamin' Hot? But Flamin' Hot what? Like, what's inside of it? Like, what's the meat and cheese? We really got to know. Number 3, Number 3, Carolina Reaper. Number 2, Buffalo Wings. And number 1, 8 rejected Hot Pockets flavors. Peanut butter and jelly. All right, and that is the possibility list for you this week. So, a few months ago during the cold open, I made an observation how nobody checks their watch later playlist on YouTube. Anyway, you're on YouTube and you see something in the recommended or the related videos that catches your eye. But at the moment you're too busy, or in other words, you're too good for that video right now. So you save it in your watch later. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. You're never going to get to that video. Now, though that may be true and very common, I thought I'd take a look at what's in my playlist, and I found some stuff that, honestly, I don't know why it took me so long to get to it. Some of it is really irrelevant and not a big deal as it was when I first put it in there. But I thought I'd show you some snippets of what's in there out of context with no real setup or idea why it's in my watch later playlist. Let's take a look at the first clip.
Get connected for free with Education Connection. Get connected for free with Education Connection.
Okay, it can only get better from here, right?
Here's you, here's Matt, there's you, there.
Yeah. What else we got in there? I know I'm probably going to spend all hiatus long just catching up on that list. There's like 780 videos in there. That is the show for you this week. You know to follow me on social media. Until next time, I may not be the best at Rubik's Cube, but, you know, I can solve it. If you're on my TikTok, you know I get pretty annoying with it. Yeah, like, Rob, why are you showing off? And, you know, recently I showed off my beatboxing skills, but in reality, I'm just doing an impression of a beatboxer. Yeah, after like a few bars, it's just overkill. And you know what? We had a great season, and I have you, the viewer, to thank for being a part of it. And please follow me on Instagram if you'd like to see some updates and information on when season 9 will begin. Because as this video airs, I have no idea. Well, that's my time. Thank you.